So I'm not sure if you can see that or not. It says matched numbers for keyed alike. And you would look for other ones. If you're going to install more of these, you're going to look for that same number. And this says the same thing, but obviously those numbers don't match. And I believe you can get some at the store where the deadbolt also matches this. So newsflash, I'm not going to install either one of these, because I know if I install this one and write down the number, chances are, you know, I've had this for quite a few months. All right, chances are this number they're not going to have at the store. They're going to have another number. So I'm probably going to have to buy a different one, and I may have to get, you know, usually at the store they might have two different combinations of numbers at the store, okay, at the time. And then generally you should be able to find matching numbers, okay, somewhere. And if not, go to another Home Depot or go to a Lowe's or something. I'm not sure where I got these. I think I got them from the Home Depot. So I'm going to end up going back to the Home Depot, trying to find two that match, because then that'll save me from having to run around to a locksmith to rekey these. Okay, and another good thing, when I get the key. I was looking at this. This lock that I installed up here. If I have a key from another door, and if it's the same keyway, which I think it will be, as long as it slides in this door and slides in that door. Did you know there's a certain way? I've got the directions on that, on a certain way to where you can slip the new key in the deadbolt lock, because there's always a key override, right? See this here? As long as my key from that door will fit over there, I could put that new key, because that both of those are going to match, and if I can slip it in there and reprogram this, there's a way to do it. I might not have to have two different keys for the condo. I'd love to have one key for the condo that fits that door, and one to fit these, you know, the same key. Worst case scenario, if not, I'll have to have a separate key for that. But I definitely, if I'm going to put a deadbolt on the top and a keyed lever handle on the bottom, I definitely want both of those keys to match. I don't want to have three different sets of keys hanging around, because I don't want to go and have a locksmith change it. If you have a locksmith coming out to your house, they'll charge you, oh yeah, they'll do it. They'll charge you probably $65 for their trip charge and to come out here and do it. That's why if I ever do need a key, I would take the whole thing out of the door, take it down to a locksmith, come back and all that. It makes it kind of difficult if you're doing that for a front door, if you don't have anybody at home, let's say, you know. So, but in any case, that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to go back to the store, and Momi, she wanted me to put some sort of doorknob on here for a temporary type fix, you know, just for the time being, to get this closed so the cat doesn't come out here and all that kind of stuff. And I think, you know, I saved these handles. I just put them up in the attic. I'm gonna go up in the attic, and I'm gonna take the handle that was here. I'm gonna go ahead and put that one back in just for the time being until I get this figured out. I go back to the store and try to get some matching handles and all that. I did have one extra passage handle, remember? I thought, maybe I'll pull that apart and put it on here, but then I'll have to take it apart, put it back in here, take it back to the store if I end up not using it. So I'm just going to put the old handle back in here, no deadbolt for the time being, and run around and try to get some matching handle and locks, the same ones that I got, but with the same key. And that's what I'm going to do. Alrighty then. Glad I got that figured out. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. And see, sometimes I just never know what I'm going to do next. Sometimes things just don't turn out the way I thought they were. But I'm gonna go the extra mile to make sure I get this done right. Class is now open. Okay, here's that door handle I was telling you about. This is the old one. It's got the thumb turned. Here's the key. And now currently it's unlocked, okay? So every time I go in and out of it, fine, nothing happens. Now, if I want to lock this, I've got to turn the handle here, like that, okay? I've turned the handle. Now it's locked out here, right? But see, some lever handles, you won't be able to do anything on there until, now see, it's locked on the outside. Okay, so when I open the door, I always like to see it. When I open the door, it unlocks the door. Okay, I open the door, I go out, I close the door. When I close the door, this should be unlocked, but it's still locked. That's because this doesn't pop out. Some have a thumb turn that also pops out too. So whenever you hit the handle, it pops that out. Or maybe it's not a thumb turn like that. Maybe it's just a push button. So you see, now it's unlocked, see, always. Okay. If there was a push button here, you push the button in and it's locked, right? And then when you push the handle down, it pops the handle out. Well, some of these handles, when you have it actually locked, like that, actually this won't be stationary locked. It'll be, once you push that down, that thumb turn will pop out. This one doesn't do that. And I'm hoping that the other one pops out. See, it's still locked. So if I go into the garage right now, I lock myself out, right? If I didn't have my key, I couldn't come in, but because I have the that type of keyed deadbolt, I can, because it's just a keyed access, a punch key with numbers and stuff, okay? You know, like that. Okay, then I can come in, provided that your batteries are still good. What's the chance that 6 months down the road your battery goes dead, you lock yourself out, you don't have your key, now you can go outside, but you can't get back inside your house. That would kind of suck, wouldn't it? Okay, now here's something else. Okay, see, I'm just gonna leave this locked or closed like that until I get the new handles. But you see on the side, on most handles, it has the little goodie on the edge to keep it locked. See that? When that goes in, then you can't, if it's locked, your latch will keep the door locked. It's kind of hard to tell you on this door. Well, actually, let's see. It's locked. When you press that in, see, this latch won't go into the door unless that's out. See? This little thing here is designed to fit on the front side of your strike plate, and then this will always be locked, okay? But on this particular one, okay, if we just close it to there, then I know that that little thing is on the outside of this. But see, it's not tight enough because of my weather stripping and stuff. I want it tighter. So look, and even that's not tight enough, but I got it pushed all the way in. That means that little nib is pushed on the inside of the strike plate. And so if it ever was locked, if I was outside, I could I could take a putty knife. I could take a putty knife because this whole thing is pushed into the strike plate. Take the putty knife and just push right there, and that's going to go in. But see, if this is on the outside of the strike plate where it's supposed to be, I could take a putty knife in there all day long and never be able to open that door if it's going into the latch more than a 1/16. If it's not, 1/16 would get me in, wouldn't it? But so when I get ready to install the new one, I'm gonna have to watch that, because I want it so that this little prong does not fit into the strike plate. You see, that nib would be set right there, not over here. And so, you know, what am I going to have to do for that? Well, this has a paddle on the back side. I could fold that out, but there's only so far you want to make that go before it messes up with your latch. So ultimately, I may have to notch this over a 1/16 or an 1/8 inch over that way further. And that will remain to be seen, because I'm not going to use this strike plate. I'm going to use a brand new one. So I'll go over all that later. But I was just going to tell you on this. This is just a really bad makeup on this one, and I'm hoping whatever I get, it's not gonna do that. Now it's unlocked, and for right now, I can close it in all the way, because I'm just using this to keep the door closed for the time being until I get the new handles and all that and get it all adjusted. And then see, once I adjust everything on the new, then I'll go up for the deadbolt. So on the deadbolt, I may have to move that strike plate over, or I may have to ream out the edge of it after I get the bottom adjusted exactly where it goes. And I'm gonna want it so it's snug. Do you see what I mean? Because the tighter you get your exterior door going from your condo, your house to the garage, the better. Because then you're gonna get a better seal on your weather stripping. Okay, that nice weather stripping that we just installed. Okay, that's why they make it like a V-shaped, because it's designed to fold over itself. See, it's designed to kind of press in like that. All right. Okay, enough of that. Class is over. I thought I would tell you, explain that to you on how this works and how I like them and how I don't like them. But when I go to the store, I'm just gonna, like I say, I'm just gonna have to cross my fingers that the Defiant is gonna actually work the way I want, and if not, I'll have to explain it all to Mommy, and then if it works exactly like this one, if we were to ever get locked out, at least we can come in and open the front door. So we're probably going to be fine. And I'm probably going to do the Defiant, because all of the other handles on the inside were Defiant with the lever handles. I could go with something different that's maybe not necessarily Defiant with the paddle handles, as long as I get something that matches the deadbolt and the handle and are keyed the same. Okay, but I always, once I start a job, I always like to go and use all of the same stuff. Okay, alrighty, I'll see you next time.